Your time is now. The shift has started. Are you ready? Right now, as you're watching this, something is being written in the eternal record of your life. Something is stirring that your eyes haven't seen yet, but your spirit can feel it. The ache you've carried, it's not ignored. The delay you've questioned, it's not denial. You weren't abandoned, you were being preserved. You weren't overlooked, you were being prepared. And now the time has come for the truth to rise louder than the lies. The Lord your God is still your healer. Still your restorer. And He will not let you fall. You will flourish again in strength and in peace. Not just in soul, but in body. You will walk in strength that feels unfamiliar only because it's been absent so long. But that strength is returning. It's already on its way. Your body is sacred ground where heaven's fingerprints are visible. You may not realize it, but the enemy tried to break you through your body. He targeted your energy, your drive, your sleep, your ability to simply move. But the Most High placed a hedge around you. That's why you're still here. That's why even in the moments you thought you were finished, something inside refused to give up. That something was God's strength. This transformation you're stepping into isn't just about physical healing. It's about alignment. The Lord is aligning your body with His purpose. He's removing what hinders and refining what remains. No more delays. No more distractions. Heaven has already moved on your behalf. Do you remember Elijah under the broom tree in 1 Kings 19? He was exhausted, done, ready to quit. But God didn't rebuke him. He fed him, gave him rest, and told him, the journey is too much for you. And then He sent him forward in renewed strength. That's what's happening to you now. You may feel at your limit, but your limit is where God begins. You have no idea how close you are to the moment everything shifts. But here's the truth. It's already begun. The alignment has started. The transformation has taken root. Just because you can't feel it yet doesn't mean it's not happening. Growth always starts beneath the surface. God is saying to you now, trust me. Even when it's quiet, even when you feel alone, I have not left you. He has heard every whispered prayer, every question asked in the dark, every night you held your chest, wondering why healing hadn't come. But He was there in the silence, in the stillness, holding you together, when everything inside felt like it was falling apart. Remember the woman with the issue of blood in Luke 8? 12 years of suffering. Doctors couldn't help. Crowds couldn't stop her. But she touched the edge of His cloak and was healed. Not because she shouted, but because she believed. She didn't need permission, and neither do you. God does not need a doctor's report to change. He does not require a favorable diagnosis to move. He moves because He is God. And when He decides to restore, no force in hell can stop it. This is not just healing. This is generational healing. God is not only transforming your body, He's reversing what was spoken over you. He's rewriting what was passed down. The trauma that ran through your bloodline stops with you. The fatigue, the fear, the failures, they're being broken. You are chosen. You are marked. You are protected. No weapon formed against you will prosper. Isaiah 54:17. Even if they form, even if they aim, they will not succeed, because the shadow of the Almighty is blocking every arrow meant to harm you. There's no need to strive for this. This isn't performance-based. You're not being healed because you prayed the right words or because you got everything right. You're being healed because you are loved. You're being restored because He chose you before you were formed in the womb. He knew you. Jeremiah 1:5. He knew every storm you would face. He knew the wear and tear your body would carry. And still He looked at you and said, you are mine. So no, you don't have to beg Him to fix what He's already written a plan to restore. You only need to trust Him in the waiting. This pain, it will not be wasted. This struggle, it will not be empty. Every ache, every scar, every silent cry will become a testimony. Because the God who stood with Daniel in the lion's den, the God who fed 5,000 with 5 loaves, The God who called Lazarus out of the tomb, that same God is standing beside you right now. He is not finished. He's been closer than your own breath. You didn't see him when the panic came. He was there steadying your heart. You didn't hear him when the fear surged, but he was whispering peace. You didn't feel him when you nearly broke, but he was holding the pieces in his hands. And even now, he's not just speaking about you. He's moving in you. The swelling will shrink. The chronic pain will lift. The headaches will ease. Fatigue will break like dawn, and strength, true sustainable strength, will return. But more than that, your soul will be reordered. Your thoughts will shift. Your mind will calm. Because this isn't just about your health. It's about who you are becoming. And who you are becoming is exactly who God intended all along. Before you rush on with your day, take 2 quiet minutes, not to scroll, not to react, but to say, Lord, align my body, my mind, and my steps with you today. Stretch gently. Let breath fill you deeply. Let gratitude rise up. Even if all you can say is, thank you for keeping me. Read even one verse that reminds you of renewal like Lamentations 3:23. His mercies are new every morning. Let that become your rhythm today. When anxiety creeps in, pause, breathe, and remember, alignment doesn't start with noise. It starts with obedience, with surrender, with stillness. This moment right now, it's more than words. It's divine intervention. The atmosphere is shifting. Angels are moving, and your body is beginning to respond. Not to fear, not to panic, but to purpose to Him. You don't need to explain what's happening. You won't need to justify your restoration. Your life will become the evidence. Your healing will speak for itself. Because the God who spoke light into darkness is still speaking now. And He is speaking over you. You are not who you were. And you will not stay where you've been. There is a shift taking place. One not seen with the eyes, but deeply felt in the spirit. A transformation divinely timed, undeniably personal, and fully covered by the hand of the Almighty. The season of silence is breaking. The weak you've carried is lifting, and the lies you've believed are being silenced by truth. The Lord is speaking. I am turning your mourning into dancing. I am exchanging weakness for power. I am making rivers in your desert, causing new life to rise from what once seemed dead. You are not finished, and neither is His plan for you. Some of you have been living under the shadow of hopelessness, believing that your body is broken beyond repair, that your healing is forever delayed, that your strength will never return. But heaven is issuing a new decree over you today. Your story is not over. It's being rewritten. The Spirit of God has made me, and the breath of the Almighty gives me life. Job 33:4. You are not broken beyond restoration. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Your body is not a battleground of defeat. It is a vessel being prepared for glory. He does not dwell in perfect places. He dwells in surrendered ones. And your surrender has become sacred ground. The pain you felt, He saw it. The nights you cried silently into your pillow, He was there. The days you forced yourself to smile while carrying a weight no one could see, He never looked away. And now He is stepping into the place of your deepest need, not just to repair you, but to redeem every part of what you've endured. This is not about pretending the pain wasn't real. It was, but it's not permanent. You are being led out of the shadows into a new chapter where pain is no longer the loudest voice, and He is speaking life. When you questioned, even when you felt too tired to believe, He has seen every moment you thought your body betrayed you. He knows how many times the pain returned right after you thought it had left. He knows the burden of waiting, the frustration of setbacks, the disappointment of prayers that seem to go unanswered. But listen closely. This is the hour of rebuilding. This is where God begins to restore everything you thought was too far gone. And it's not just physical. Your soul is being lifted out of despair. Your mind is being renewed. The emotional wounds, the internal battles, the fatigue that feels too heavy to explain, it's all being brought into divine alignment. Heaven is not only healing what was harmed, it's restoring what was stolen, your joy, your movement, your purpose. The Lord will guide you always. He will satisfy your needs in a son's land and will strengthen your frame. Isaiah 58:11. The attacks you faced weren't because you were weak. They were because you are chosen. The enemy has always seen the weight of what you carry, even when you didn't. That's why the warfare has been fierce. But not one weapon has prospered. And now the scars from the battle will become your testimony. Every part of your journey, even the darkest chapters, will proclaim His power. You will walk again, not just physically, but spiritually. You will go where you once felt too weak to go. You will laugh again, breathe freely again, not because of what you've done, but because of who He is. He is Jehovah Rapha, the God who heals, and He hasn't run out of miracles. He hasn't retired His power. He hasn't forgotten how to restore. He is not a distant deity waiting for you to earn healing. He's a present Father stepping into your brokenness with resurrection in His voice. The tiredness in your bones, the pressure in your chest, the wounds that have lingered longer than expected. He's touching it all. Healing is not coming in theory. It's coming in reality. You will feel in your steps. You will sense it in your breath. What once strained you will become effortless. He is healing what has been broken, even down to the cellular level. The Lord is saying, I am rebuilding you from the inside out. I am restoring balance to your body. I am purging what has polluted your system. I am renewing your blood, strengthening your bones, awakening your immune system, calming your nerves. And most of all, He's restoring your will to live fully, not to survive, but to thrive. He didn't call you just to be forgiven. He called you to be whole. I came that they may have life and have it abundantly. John 10:10. This is your page-turning moment. Not a pause, not a delay, a shift. Heaven has already prepared what's ahead. The hands that held you in the storm are now lifting you into new strength. You are not who you were, and you will not leave this moment the same. The pain, the waiting, the battle, it all led here. And now the same God who walked with you through the Va. Lee is calling your name on the mountaintop. You are worth the healing, worth the rebuilding, worth the miracle. And yes, you were worth the fight. Even before the battle was visible, the Lord had already declared victory. Not one moment of pain escaped His attention. Not a single attack passed without His permission. What reached the chosen one was only a fraction of what the enemy had planned, because the Lord Himself stood in the gap between collapse and stability, between breakdown and breakthrough. He stood as a shield. And now the message from heaven is clear. Transformation is coming. And this time it will not fade. This is not temporary relief. This is not a fleeting calm. This is a deep, lasting restoration rooted not in human effort, but in divine power. The pain that once made simple movements a struggle is being dismantled. The heaviness that lingered at dawn is being lifted. The chosen one will walk again, not just in body, but in clarity, purpose, and strength unknown before. This is divine transformation. For the Lord has seen the silent endurance, the moments where strength was masked behind a tired smile, the times when pain was hidden so others wouldn't worry. But no suffering has ever gone unnoticed. The weight that was carried in silence has been seen by the Almighty. And now He speaks, be made whole. This isn't a suggestion. It is a command from the one who spoke the galaxies into place. It is a decree from the voice that calmed the storm with a word. When he speaks, all things must respond, even pain, even disease, even trauma buried deep in the body. There is no condition too far gone, no situation too complicated, no delay too long. Even if the body has been worn by years of struggle, the Lord remembers what health and joy feel like for his creation. And he is restoring that remembrance in full, not because of striving, but because of his covenant. But I will restore you to health and heal your wounds, declares the Lord. Jeremiah 30:17. Healing, G, is not something the chosen one must earn. It is something the Lord desires to give because he is faithful. His hands are steady enough to hold what the world cannot. His shoulders broad enough to carry what no one else sees. And now he is moving swiftly because the appointed time has come. This restoration includes more than energy or wellness. It includes joy, the kind that allows peaceful sleep, that quiets the mind, that slows the heartbeat in peace. Even the nervous system, so often frayed by years of pressure, is being touched by the Lord's presence. He is addressing the trauma buried every step. This is what happens when heaven touches earth. When the Lord moves, the natural must bow to the supernatural. Things shift, chains break, power flows. And yes, even now, in this very moment, not tomorrow, not in the vague future, the Lord is moving. The chosen one may not see the full picture yet, but they are standing in the center of the miracle. Every quiet act of faith, every breath surrendered in trust is part of the unfolding of God's power. The Lord your God is in your midst, a mighty one who will save. He will rejoice over you with gladness. He will quiet you by his love. Zephaniah 3:17. The transformation underway is not a slow fade. It is an active rebuilding. And when others look at the chosen one, they will not see the past. They will see the power of God. The scars will not define them. The glory will. This healing will ripple beyond one body. It will awaken something in others. It will break chains in families. It will stir faith in those who have forgot and how to hope. This healing is a sign, a testimony. The Lord still moves. The Lord still speaks. The Lord still heals. The chosen one has not been overlooked. On the contrary, they have been under divine surveillance, watched not from a distance, but examined with love, protected by grace. Every moment they thought the Lord had turned away was actually a moment he looked closer into the soul, into the ache, into the deepest places where no human eye could see. And when this rising happens, and it will, there will be no confusion about the source. It was the Lord's strength, not their own. It was his grace, not human plans, his timing, not wishful thinking. And the journey will not be walked alone. He is leading. As peace begins to settle back into the body and mind, the evidence of God's hand will become unmistakable. This peace isn't meant to be hoarded. It multiplies when shared. One kind word to the weary, one prayer whispered for a friend, one act of love carried out in silence. That's how heaven expands, through vessels willing to pour out what they've received. And let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. Galatians 6:9. Healing becomes testimony when it becomes action. Every time the chosen one lifts another, they rise a little higher themselves. They become a living witness, proof that light still breaks through, that hope still breathes. The Spirit of the Lord is not confined to temples built by hands. He dwells in the surrendered. He surrounds the chosen. His love goes ahead and his power does not fail. If the chosen one could see themselves as heaven sees them, they would never doubt again, because he never looked away. He never stopped loving. He never left. And now the shift is here. Not only to heal, but to empower. Not just to restore, but to repurpose. Not simply to patch what's broken, but to rebuild in glory. The victory was secured before the first battle began. And what the Lord has started, He will finish. You may see weakness, but heaven sees endurance. You may notice the delays, the long nights, the pain that lingers, but the Lord sees something far more powerful. Someone who never gave up, someone who pressed forward through the ache, someone who carried silent battles with strength even they didn't know they had. From the beginning, the Most High walked every step. Every tear that dropped in silence was recorded in His hands. Every groan unspoken was heard in His throne room. Not one moment of agony was overlooked. And what felt like the breaking point, that was actually the moment His power began. The Creator never intended for the chosen to carry this weight alone. That burden wasn't meant to be theirs. It was always His. And now, with hands surrendered and hearts open, the Lord is stepping in fully, decisively, completely. This moment is not a random breakthrough. This is targeted restoration, precision, healing. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give supper thanks with contributions of up to $120. I pay men to get blessing 100 million. The Most High is not releasing general blessings. He is going straight to the deepest injuries, the roots of imbalance, the places in the body and mind where trauma once settled. He knows what triggered the suffering. He knows the words spoken behind closed doors. He knows the stress stored in bones, the memories hidden in muscles, and the fear that attached itself to the nervous system. But there's no need to pretend anymore. The Lord does not rebuke weariness. He does not shame vulnerability. What He sees is survival, and now He's answering it with restoration. The healing being released will not be fleeting. This is not surface relief. This is rebuilding at the foundation level. This is the kind of wholeness that rewrites a future where stress once stole vitality. Peace is now being installed. Where pain used to dictate clarity is rising. Where emotional heaviness, blurred vision, joy is now awakening. This isn't just physical change, it's a new foundation. The Most High has seen the hesitation, the fear that this healing might fade like it has before. But this time is different. Not because the struggle is smaller, but because the touch of God is deeper. The healing is being sealed by the Spirit, not just applied like a remedy, but infused as transformation. And when the Lord places His hand upon something, nothing remains the same. The grip of the enemy is breaking. The tactics that once drained energy are no longer effective. Sickness, fatigue, despair, none of it has the final word. The attempts to silence the chosen failed. The strategy to break them down did not succeed. The Lord has been the strength all along, and now that strength is about to manifest fully, not only in the body, but in the surroundings. Relationships will shift. Decisions will gain clarity. The very atmosphere will begin to feel lighter, because when the Lord heals, He doesn't stop at symptoms. He transforms the entire environment. As the old begins to fall away, let it. Don't hold on to what God is removing. There's no reason to cling to what can't carry forward into the next chapter. The Lord is preparing something greater, and trust is the bridge into that future. Even on the days when the chosen feel weak, the promise still holds. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. 2 Corinthians 12:9. So when strength feels absent, that's the very moment when divine strength rises up, not rushed, but perfectly timed, not forced, but divinely orchestrated. This healing may arrive suddenly, quietly, without fanfare. But that's how heaven often works, transforming things beneath the surface before they rise into sight. The body is not an enemy. It is sacred ground. It is a temple formed by the hands of the Creator. And He does not abandon what He built. He doesn't forget what He designed. He finishes what He starts. The chosen will walk again in full strength, rise again in full joy, move forward with no fear holding them back. The very places that once felt like limitations will become living testimony. The restoration happening now goes beyond skin and muscle. It is touching identity. For the pain that's been carried wasn't just physical. It went deeper. It affected the way the chosen saw themselves, spoke about themselves, and believed for their future. There were moments when the reflection in the mirror felt like a stranger. Days when hope seemed far and strength felt like a distant memory. But none of it was unseen. None of it was ignored. And while others assumed all was well, the Lord saw the hidden fight, the inner storm, the quiet bravery that didn't need to be announced to be real. That's why angels were sent not to announce defeat, but to declare life, not to weep over endings, but to proclaim beginnings. The body still has purpose. The soul still has assignment. And heaven is responding now. The Lord has made a decision, and it is final. The chosen will not carry the same pain into the next season. The healing being released is not a patch, it is a reversal. The damage is not being managed, it is being undone. Where inflammation once raged, peace is flowing. Where fatigue once dominated, vitality is returning. Where cycles once repeated, the pattern is being broken. This is real, not symbolic, not future tense. The transformation is happening now. The joy of motion is being restored. The freedom to stretch, run, move, and live without fear. The limitations once accepted as permanent are dissolving. The lies about what's possible are crumbling. The Lord will fulfill His purpose for me. Your steadfast love, O Lord, endures forever. Psalm 138:8. The Most High is a God of completion. He doesn't abandon halfway. He doesn't heal in fragments. What He starts, He finishes with glory. And that is exactly what's unfolding now. What ditch He, Lord, begins, He always completes. That's not just a comforting phrase. It is the unshakable truth rooted in His very nature. The one who created the heavens with a word, the one who knit life together from dust and breath, has begun something in your life, in your body, in your health. And He has no intention of stopping until it is made whole. So when the enemy whispers, it's too late or you've gone too far, let that voice be silenced by the truth. The Lord is not done. He is the author, and He does not abandon a sentence halfway. Being confident of this, Paul wrote that He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. Philippians 1:6. There's no requirement to understand every step ahead. The Lord is not asking for full comprehension, only full trust. Each day is a step, and with every step, the old is being stripped away. That heaviness that used to wrap around your chest, it's lifting. That fatigue that made simple tasks feel mental, it's breaking. The soul is beginning to remember what it feels like to be alive again. And here's something sacred. This journey isn't being copied from anyone else's. This healing isn't borrowed. It's not recycled. It's tailor-made, crafted for you with divine specificity, because you are not a copy. You are a unique creation. And so is the restoration that has been written for you. The Most High has never been in the business of mass producing miracles. His fingerprints are on each one. So, don't compare your recovery. Don't measure your process against someone else's highlight reel. Keep your eyes forward. He knows the way through the wilderness. He knows what your soul needs before you can speak it. And He knows how to bring you through it stronger than you were before. The result won't need explanation. People will notice. They'll see joy where sorrow used to live. They'll see strength where weakness once ruled. They'll see you move where once you stood still. And they'll know without guessing that the Lord and no one else has done this. So stay close. Tune your heart to His whisper. He speaks clearly to those who listen. He leads with gentleness, not confusion. There will be moments when you'll sense the call to rise and others where you'll be told to rest. Follow that rhythm. Obedience is the pace of peace. And when peace comes, even if only for a moment, hold it. Don't question it. Don't dismiss it as fleeting emotion. That stillness in your chest, that quiet in your thoughts, that is His presence. And it is not temporary, it is becoming your new normal. That stillness isn't silence, it's sacred. That peace isn't passive, it's powerful. You will learn to walk in that peace, move in it, breathe it in. You will go out in joy and be led forth in peace, declares Isaiah 55:12. There have been so many questions. Why me? Why now? Why hasn't it ended yet? These cries weren't thrown into a void. They were heard, counted, held. Not 1 second of your suffering, she was wasted. While you waited, He worked. While you broke, He built. While you wept, He watched. And He wept with you. And now something holy is happening. This shift isn't your imagination. The change you feel, even if small, is real. The hand of heaven is moving. It is not height, it is healing. And it's reaching places even you forgot were broken. This is not a moment for fear. Though fear has followed closely, especially when it comes to your body, the Lord did not author that. He does not give the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give supper thanks with contributions of up to $120. I pay men to get blessing 100 million. That soundness includes your nervous system. That peace includes your physical being. That healing reaches every layer, soul, spirit, and cell. Even now, He is moving through your bloodstream, your joints, your memory, your muscles. And He is not doing a surface patch. He is rebuilding. Means from the inside out. He's restoring what you thought time had stolen. This is not survival, it's revival. The question, when will it end, has hovered over your heart. And the answer is here. Now the time of restoration has come. Every part of you that's been in battle is being drawn into peace. Every part under stress is entering divine rest. And the places you believed were too damaged to heal are being covered in sacred love. And there is more, so much more. This healing will touch your relationships. It will change how you see yourself. It will influence how you speak, how you think, how you lead, how you love. Because when the Lord restores, He does not do it halfway. The roots are being healed, not just the branches. The cycles are being broken, not just paused. What He is removing will not return. What once clung to your life has no permission to stay. And yes, there were days when you didn't want to hope again. Disappointment had visited too many times, but the Lord does not tease with hope. God is not a man that He should lie. Numbers 23:19 reminds us His word does not falter. If He said healing, then healing is coming.